We advise the opinions and views of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo. Welcome to our show, Usapang Kalusugan. I'm your host, Ray Rosa. Magkakapiling tayo dito sa susunod pang isang oras. At papag-usapan natin ang mga bagay na mahalaga kung paano natin i-maintain ang ating kalusugan. Ang kasama ko po dito sa programa ko, of course, ang ating kapatid na si Brother Vic Chua, ating suki dito. At saka ngayon, inimbitahan po namin ang isang matalik na kaibigan din natin, because we wanted to discuss a particular aspect, one organ sa ating katawan, napakahalaga sa napakadami dito sa atin sa bayan ng Pilipinas. And he is what I would call a natural healing consultant. Meron siyang healing centers sa Angeles, San Fernando ba yun? O Angeles? Sa Angeles, Pampanga. Meron din siya dyan sa Subic. At meron din siya dyan sa Quezon City po, sa One Executive Building. We will tell you a little bit more about it. At saka marami po siyang maipapayo sa atin kung paano natin at ano ang function. At ito po programang ito, gusto namin kayong matuto tungkol sa mga bahagi ng katawan ninyo, no? Para malaman ninyo kung paano pangalagaan. Itong bisita natin ay wala ng iba kung hindi si Dr. Sam Dizon. Hey, welcome guys to the program. Thank you for being here.
It's a privilege. Yeah.
Alright, ang una natin siguro gawin dito ay magpaliwanag tayo dito sa ating mga nakikinig. Ano ba itong kidney at nasan ba ito at ano ba ang unang function nito? Kasi alam natin lahat meron tayong kidney pero marami sa atin walang nalalaman kung paano nagpa-function yan. Ano ba? Bakit ba napakahalaga?
Kasi ang bato o kidney natin, nasa bandang likuran po yan. We have the two kidneys, no? The left and the right. Para siyang patani. No?
Parang patani ang
parang
korte.
Patani, And mula doon sa pataning yon, dapat may picture yon. May tubo na siyang pababa, we call that the ureter. Sinasala po nung bato ng kidney ang dugo, 100% most of the blood. And then yung mga latak, mga dumi, tatapon niya, dadaan doon sa ureter, yung tubo na pababa, hanggang mapunta sa pantog. Pag napuno yung pantog, mapipil natin na tayo maihi na. So ganun po.
Yun ang elimination
yan.
natin.
Mostly liquids ang kanyang tinatrabaho, nililinis niya.
Okay, paano ba nag-filter ang kidney? Tsaka siguro talaga napakahalaga ng kidney kasi binigyan tayo ng dalawa ng Panginoon.
Para pag nasira yung isa, may
meron pang isang
reserba.
kapalit.
Ang pag tinignan po ninyo at any given time, habang nagsasala yung kidney, 1/3 niya nagsasala. So, halimbawa ito yung kidney, 1/3 nagsasala, 1/3 nagpapahinga, 1/3 naghahanda para mag-filter. So, para silang rotations. Kung sa isang factory siguro ay shifting sila ng 8 oras. Ano? Probably.
24-hour day.
8-hour
shift.
8-hour shift. Ngayon po, pag nasira po yung 1/3 ng kidney, yung chemical na tinetest namin sa dugo, yung creatinine, makikita mo normal. Kasi meron pang dalawang magsi-shifting eh. Kung masira yung 2/3 ng isang kidney yon, ay ba ito, 2/3 na, may 1/3 ka pa rito, meron ka pang tigta 1/3 sa kabila. Normal pa rin yung chemical na yun, yung creatinine. Kung nasira yung isang kidney, meron ka pang 3 magpapalitan. Normal pa rin ang creatinine mo. Pag nasira yung 1/3 ng natitirang kidney, meron ka pang 2/3 na magpapalitan. Normal pa rin. Tataas lang po ang creatinine ng ating dugo kung halimbawa 80 to 90% nagmamalfunction at 10 to 20% lang ang nagtatrabaho. So malaki ang...
Parang asymptomatic in many ways.
Opo, by the time
wala kayong mararamdaman.
Kaya pag nakita mong tumataas ang creatinine, may tawag po kami mga doktor dyan, nakalagay doon, end-stage kidney failure. End-stage kidney failure. So, kumbaga sa pelikula, pag nakalagay yung the end, ano yung sabihin?
Tapos na.
So, ibig sabihin mo, you have to find ways para to replace that kidney.
Kanya transplant na lang ang kanilang iniisip.
Kaya end-stage.
Pero yun lang ang ideya nila. Hindi naman necessarily ito lahat
Yes. Kasi po, we are alternative doctors and we look for alternatives. Kung feeling ng pasyente ay for transplant, how much does a transplant cost? 1.5 to 1.8 M.
Million.
Okay.
At saka hahanap ka pa ng
Donor, no?
donor.
Kailangan kamag-anak mo, somebody
kaya
dead,
may
no?
matching pa yun in terms of...
Matching pa. Oh. And then, let's say na-transplant na sa'yo, you'll be spending 120 to 180,000 monthly para hindi i-reject ng katawan mo yun.
Oo, kasi po, pag nag-transplant kayo, maski na mataas ang matching, let's say about 70% ang matching, foreign matter pa rin sa katawan
hindi sa'yo yun eh. Saka kung inuman galing yun eh.
Aatakihin ng immune system mo yan, i-reject.
So, what they do is, isusuppress na immune system. Of course, may mga effect yun, di ba?
Oo, dada ngayon, pag sinupress mo ng immune system mo, brother Vicky, you're prone to all kinds of diseases.
Maghihiwalay ka sa mga crowd to prevent
nakamaskara, iwas ka.
Isolated ka. Parang kang sariling mundo.
But your body can still reject your kidney even with all those medication in 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So it's actually a gamble.
Sugal talaga.
Sugal.
Okay, pero alright, tingnan muna natin din kasi alam po ninyo, napakadami itong may problema sa bato, ito, no? Pang-10 daw na cause yan ng kamatayan eh. At saka sa mundo, no? Pero dito sa Pilipinas, pang-siyam. Na sanhi po ng kamatayan sa among Filipinos. Tsaka parang lumalabas dito, about 120 Filipinos per million ang incidence ng kidney disease. Pagkatapos, 5,000 Pilipino daw ngayon, o ito naman estimate lang siguro, ang nagda-dialysis ngayon. At saka 1.1 million people worldwide are on renal replacement therapy.
Yes, dialysis. Yes.
In other words, nagda-dialysis sila. At tapos dito, ang number of these patients might double to 10,000 in 2010. So, lampas na tayo doon. Siguro, baka 10,000 na yung new cases are diagnosed yearly. And dito ko nakikita ang laki ng correlation, I suspect, between lifestyle, diet, to the steep increase in the number of people with kidney disease. Would you like to say something in that regard, Doc Sam?
Well, just to give an idea, one friend of mine, say in Bacolod, there's a small dialysis center, and they noticed na in one day they had about 300 cases na nagda-dialysis.
That's just in Bacolod?
Oh, isang center lang na ordinaryong maliit lang yun. I don't know in Manila, no? Pero it's actually a lucrative business. Ang problem is, how much does a dialysis cost? 3,000 to 4,000, 3 times a week.
Meron naman daw nakukuha ngayon, merong mga dialysis centers, I don't know if it's government run or PCSO run, where you can get it for about 1.5.
That would be the cheapest, no?
Oh, yun ang pinakamura.
That would be the cheapest. Ang problem is, ang haba ng pila doon.
Yun, ba't talaga maghihintay ka lang?
Maghihintay ka talaga.
I think, I don't know if I'm correct, no, but I think in Makati, they have an arrangement na kung ikaw ay resident ng Makati, at ikaw ay mayroong kidney problem, you can get your dialysis for 1.3 or 1.5.
Okay. So it's
Pero,
cheaper.
I mean, how many Makatis are there?
But remember, if you're doing dialysis, which is at least nakakababa ng creatinine mo, yung findings nga nung libro na sinasabi niya, ano mo sabi doon?
Yeah, actually, pagka long-term dialysis brings about so many complications.
Sa blood vessels mo lang kung saan dumadaan.
Yung left ventricular hypertrophy, no? Tapos maaring lahat ng mga even to the extent of heart failure.
No, but it's not is dialysis as efficient as the kidney infiltration? Yun ang siguro dapat tanongin natin because everybody takes I know it's the only thing that allopathic medicine offers in terms of an alternative to kidney function if your kidney function is failing. Pero
is it that efficient?
How efficient is it?
And remember po, ang kidney natin works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ang dialysis, dalawa po kasi ang dialysis, ang peritoneal, yung sa tiyan. Bubutasin yung tiyan, maglalagay ng parang gripo, sabi na, may swero, papasok sa tiyan, and then bubuksan mo para matapon. Ang ginagamit po doon yung ating intestines na merong peritoneum na kumbaga sa isaw yung tuwalya. Yung tuwalya may mga kulani. Naglilinis siya sa magitan ng tuwalya o ng kulani. Sa hemodialysis, sa ugat naman po yun. Isang artery or yung ugat na may pulso.
Ang nililinis yung dugo.
Opo, yung nililinis ng dugo. It takes about 4 hours. 2 to 3 times a week. Paano mahahabol ng 4 hours yung 24 hours na trabaho ng kidney? Ng 3 times a week yung 7 days a week. So we've had patients na ang creatinine nila 1,000, after dialysis, bababa lang 800.
Sobra pa rin
And
taas.
meron kaming patient na 1,000, after dialysis, 1,000 pa rin. And meron kaming patient na 1,000, after dialysis, 1,002. So sabi namin sa nephro, doktora, ba't umakyat? Di ba dialysis supposed to get it down? Sabi nung doktora, kasi nag-react siya dun sa dialysate. Yung chemical na ginagamit para yung dugo mo malabnaw, hindi siya magbara sa machine. Nagre-react din pala yung kidney dun sa chemical na yun. So, that means, if 20% yung kidney mo na mag-function, after a while, while you're doing dialysis, the chemical it's being
Itself
used can be damaging to the kidney. So, nagulat kami. They had to repeat it sunod-sunod na araw just to get it down.
But the whole thing about dialysis is mostly nakalagay naman in the books. 15% lang matatanggal. 15% lang. Yung mga large molecule, hindi nila matatanggal.
Kasi nakadikit na yun
large molecule. On top of that, pansin natin, mostly, ang concern nila ay yung water.
Okay. Alright, so dito sa function ng kidney, Doc, sir, makikita natin, it removes excess water,
Yes.
and then it removes toxins o yung waste ng
waste
katawan.
material, BUN, creatinine, uric acid.
Sa iniinom mo at saka
Kinakain
kinakain
natin,
mo.
yes.
At saka from
Sa
living
normal,
tissue,
normal
nagkakaroon
metabolism.
po ng slow off yan ng mga molecules na kailangan ilabas ng katawan. So, ang kidney, nagfa-function doon, meron sila diyang mga filters.
Filtering mechanism.
Can you give us an explanation, Doc Sam, ng mga filtration mechanism ng kidney natin?
Yung pong isang pinakamaliit na bahagi po ng kidney, we call it the nephrons, no? Sila po ay mga maliliit na ugat na manipis ang balat na nakarolyo. So pag dalayo ng dugo doon, dahil manipis yung balat nila, yung lining nila, yung paligid nila, yung mga toxins ay nasasala nila at yung mga hindi toxins, ma-absorb ulit nila kasi nagpapalitan sila dun sa lining na yon.
Sabi nila, ang kidney daw, merong mga 1,000,000 nephrons.
Opo.
Ganong kadami.
Imagine nyo, kung ganun kadami, marami talagang area ng dugo na dadaan dun sa... So kung titignan po yun, alam ba, ito yung ugat, palit ng palit hanggang sa umabot siya doon sa nephron na maliit. So yung mga dumi ng dugo, ma-absorb, mag-stay doon, at yung malinis naman, pabalik sa ating sirkulasyon.
Kaya doon sa nephron yung tinatawag nilang glomerulus na maliliit
Palit pa ng palit.
blood vessel
Opo.
na kasama sa filtration.
So ganun po.
Di ba? Pagkatapos nilalabas na yan, yung tubule, yung urine collection naman sa tubule.
Kukolektahin niya, ilalagay niyo doon sa mahabang tubo mo. Ito yung kidney palabas, and then diretso na sa pantugpo.
Okay. Yan, some of the symptoms kasi na kailangan natin tingnan dito, na pwede nating tinan. Paano mong malalaman na ikaw ay may problema sa kidney?
Well, kung fluid po nyo ay hindi na lalabas, siyempre pwede kang magmanas, no? Usually, ang unang sign is sa mukha.
Nagmamanas
sa mukha, paligid ng mata. So, kung naalala na po natin si ex-President Ferdinand Marcos,
Nagmamaga ang mata, no?
Puffy eyelids. Of course, maghapon, kung medyo nakatayo, makita mo, medyo nagmamanas-manas yung paa mo, no?
Lalo na pag bagong gising ka.
Gising, opo. Kung halimbawa yung high blood ka, that's another sign of a kidney problem. At saka yung iba po nag-anemic sila. High blood sila pero anemic, no?
Okay. But paano naman, how is it that minsan if you have difficulty of breathing, it's a sign of a kidney problem?
You may be anemic by then or nagtutubig na yung lungs mo, hindi mo pa alam. Okay. Or yung mga chemicals na dapat ilabas, masyado na mataas na your system is not getting what it should get. So, acidic na yung dugo mo masyado.
So, kasama na dyan ang potential is dizziness, nausea,
hilo,
headache, andyan na yan.
Body
Saka
weakness.
pag tumataas ang presyon mo. Hindi ba? Alright. Meron din sila sinasabing electrolytic imbalance.
Opo, yung mga asin ng katawan natin, sodium, potassium, calcium. Pagka may normal level po kasi yung sodium, potassium, calcium natin. Ngayon, anything na above or below, magkakaloko-loko. Kaya, isa sa dahilan yan, pag sila ang kidney ng pasyente, binabawalan silang kumain ng saging na latundan and certain herbs. Kasi yung potassium na yun, pag sumubrang tamaas, pwedeng atakin sa puso
Kasi
ng
ang
pasyente.
kidney nare-regulate ng quantity of potassium and
Sodium.
sodium
And calcium,
and hindi lang and another substance
Phosphorus.
of phosphorus. And that is what will determine pagka kasi nawala pong balanse doon, magugulo ang katawan. No? So yung kidney is responsible for maintaining that balance by producing certain enzymes. No? But ang maganda dito, minsan pag bumababa naman ng certain elements yan, yung ability of the body to produce red blood cells bumabagsak
Opo,
naman.
yung pong erythropoietin. Kasi ang kidney po natin, ang siya nagdidikta o nagsasabi o nagsasend ng signal sa mga bone marrow natin, sa dulo ng buto natin, kung magpuproduce na siya ng pula ng dugo o hindi, yung red blood cell natin. So, pag sira po ang kidney, yung production yun goes down. Kaya pag sira ang kidney, they have to inject or transfuse ng dugo. So, ini-inject yun. Pag tinanong kami, Doc, hanggang kailan po kami mag-inject? Sasabihin namin hanggang sira po ang kidney nyo, mag-inject kayo.
Alam mo yung sa mga lahat ng mga dialysis, makikita mo yung mga symptoms nila. Erythropoietin, bumabagsak.
Pula, yung pula.
Tapos yung anemic sila,
High blood.
high blood. At hindi lang 'yon. Mostly yung urine toxins na retain sa mga balat.
Kati-kati ng balat
Kati-kati.
nila.
mga kating katawan mo.
At hindi mostly yung iba naman yung mga kanilang urine hindi sila nagre-regular. Kaya kawawang-kawawa. Every morning
Nanlason
sa gabi,
sila sa sarili ng
every
dugo.
hour gumigising para mag-urinate.
So sinasabi mo, Brother Vic, a lot of people may have problems with their kidney without knowing it. Hindi nila alam.
Kung makita
na may
nila na,
problema sila sa kidney.
probably one of the first thing that they can see is kung bumubula yung ihi nila.
Correct. Proteinuria. Yun ang nakikita natin.
Pagka sobrang bula ng ihi and you think that's a sign of...
That means protein is leaking out of the kidney. And that should not be. The kidney's job is to get rid of what's bad and to keep what's good inside. Pagka sira siya, baliktad. No?
Nababaliktad. Yung
Nababaliktad.
kailangan mo nilalabas.
And so protein is lost.
Oo. At yung dapat mong ilabas, nare-retain.
Na-retain.
Yun ang unang dapat mapansin. Kung yung yung pagka
You don't rely on the creatinine because the creatinine, ang tagal pa bago siya magtaas eh. Yung proteinuria ang unang-unang sinyales.
tinatapon.
So, basta nyo yung ihi nyo, kung ito'y bumubula, pa-check agad kayo ng urine
Yung ibang pagkabula, I mean, siyempre pag nag-urinate tayo, may bula.
may konti. Pero yung sobrang bula.
Iba yung amoy niya, iba yung...
At makikita mo, parang slurry.
parang
Yung
malapot.
Malapot.
Slurry. Parang mayroong mga
sediments.
lumulutang.
May mga
Mga
sediments.
gano'n. Yun ang umpisa. Until after na halimbawa yung kidney niyon ay bumagsak kanyang glomerular filtration rate, no? Tapos, yun, tatas na yung creatinine. Kaya parating nandyan, tinatapon yung mga protein, tapos mangyayari noon, yung mga signs of yung mga tuloy-tuloy na yun.
Okay, it's a very, very complicated situation kung gano'n. And now, how do you try to maintain, because this is the sense of our program, no? How can you be reasonably certain that your kidneys will last you a true lifetime? Di ba? Ano ang tingin mong factor sa ating paraan ng pamumuhay na siyang nagiging sanhi ng sakit ng ating bato? Siguro isang masasabi natin yan.
Not drinking
wag na lang
enough water.
magalit yung mga excessive soft drinks with very high sugar. Alam mo, I was looking at what canned soft drink kanina, kagabi. At nakita ko, tiningnan ko uli yung label, no? Can you imagine, one small can like that had 45 grams of sugar?
45 na
45 grams of sugar. Ganong kadaming asukal ang regular...
pwera pa yung carbonic acid and phosphoric acid which is in the soft drinks. Actually, hindi
which of
siya
course
soft
acidifies your own body
It can dissolve
environment.
bones, it can cause osteoporosis, and it's passing through the kidney. So, imagine mo yung damage na ginagawa niya. One experiment they did is they put a tooth inside a soft drink, no?
Natunaw.
Natunaw in 1 week. Then they put a nail, yung bako, no? In
Nilagay
2 weeks,
sa-
3 weeks, natunaw siya. So, kung kaya niyang tunawin yung bakal at saka kaya niyang tunawin yung buto natin, edi kaya niyang madamage yung kidney. Then, too much salt. Yung mga...
Lalo na yung mga refined salts.
It's hard on the kidney. I mean, our body needs salt. Pero it's very hard on the kidney, lalo na kung hindi ka pala inom ng tubig. We're not drinking enough, actually. So, we need more water to flush out whatever we're taking. And then, kung nag-exercise ka maganda, at least na ilalabas din sa ibang paraan yung mga waste.
Kanya yung pagpapawis, mahalaga yun that you go through a kind of exercise 3-4 times a week. Talagang nang nagpapawis ka.
Sabi ng scripture, by the sweat of your brow you shall eat all the days of your life. If you don't sweat out, you don't eat.
Kanya yung mga hindi pinapawisan, madalas, malamang meron kayong diferensya at
Yes,
madali kayong magkasakit pag hindi kayo pinapawisan. Kasi exercise also boosts your immune system.
Circulation, detoxification. Ang sabi nila nung si Adam and Eve were perfect, they did not need to sweat out. They were perfect But the moment they sin, sabi, ngayon, kailangan magpawis ka na. Ngayon,
Nung nagkasala sila, pumasok ang free radicals.
Yes.
That siguro is the perfect environment. Hindi wala pa free radicals.
Wala pa yun wala pa. Now, they did. So, they had to detoxify.
Or their internal metabolic systems were so strong because, our metabolic process will produce free radicals.
Yes.
But the body and the immune system is
normally
able to
should be able to
overcome
take care
them,
of
di
it.
ba? Okay. So, in terms of diet, anong tingin mong tamang diet to maintain your, wag masyadong maraming patis, wag masyadong maraming asin. No, it's alright to have salt, lalo na gamitin mo sea salt or rock salt. Wag yung refined salt. Pakat lalo na ng sea salt, dala po ang napakaraming minerals and elements niyan, including the right kind of iodine for your body,
thyroid.
For your thyroid glands.
Actually, we tell them to cut down on too much protein.
Sobrang protina.
Yes.
Abay, masarap ang steak. Paano bang gagawin
Kasi
natin
po, kung too much ang protein ng katawan mo, it causes your blood to become very acidic. So, pagka ganon, then your body will have to get calcium to buffer it and to make it more alkaline. Usually, one of the leading cause of osteoporosis is not lack of calcium, but lack of too much protein. So, that protein is going to be a heavy load for the kidney to eliminate.
So, ang proseso pala doon, Doc Sam, pag masyado kang maraming kinakain karne, para ito'y magamit ng katawan at ma-process ng katawan, hihilan ng calcium yan mula sa mga buto natin.
Because the blood has become so acidic. So, but the food industry doesn't want us to know that is one major cause. Sabi nila, kumain ka lang ng calcium. But almost everything we eat has calcium. And how do you strengthen bones? Not by bombarding with too much calcium, but with exercise and sunlight and adequate rest and tamang pagkain.
Tsaka, calcium, maski na mag-supplement ka, depende sa calcium na supplement mo without the magnesium and other substances.
Tatapon lang siya.
Hindi mo ma-absorb, hindi po ma-absorb ng katawan.
Tatapon lang siya.
Kanya hindi lang i-question na basta kumain ka ng katakot-takot na calcium.
So, yun yung
Hindi lang yun. Yung calcium will react with the oxalic acid and form stones.
calcium stones in your kidneys.
In your kidney or in your
Arteries, liver.
Bladder.
So dito natin nakikita dito, alright, is it advisable to have them go through at least a once a year urinalysis or more frequent?
Well, siguro kung wala naman sila naman, maybe okay. Pero pag nakita mo iba na yung amoy na ihi mo or sa gabi nakakailang beses kang bumangon to urinate,
well, that may be a problem with different sort if you're already medyo matanda ka na,
prostate.
baka prostata na yan, no? Diba?
But still, there have been patients na nasira ang kidney because lumaki yung prostate nila.
Ano naman ang koneksyon ng prostata dun sa bato?
Okay. So, ito yung kidney, ito yung ureter, ito yung pantog. Sa ilalim naman po yung prostate. So, itong pantog, may tube yan, yung para sa labas na. Nandun po yung prostate.
Nababara tuloy.
Opo. Pag lumaki siya, ito yung pantog, ito yung prostate. So, okay lang, mauubos yung laman ng pantog. Pero kung lumalaki yung prostate, gumaganyan siya. So now you have a space here where the urine cannot come out. Kasi merong
nakabara.
Nag-stagnant po yun. They can form stone or it can cause
Nagbaback
UTI.
up ba yan to the kidney?
Well, if the infection is so high, it can damage the kidney. Or naiipit siya. So ngayon, yung kidney hindi makalabas din, lumulobo ngayon yung kidney. So pag lumubo yung kidney, yung area ng nagpi-filter nagiging manipis. So then you have a damaged kidney.
Wow, bakit ba kabit-kabit lahat yan?
Because our body is like a domino. One organ will affect another. Sad to say, sa conventional medicine, pira-piraso ang pag-approach
Ang
nila.
tingin nila.
No.
Lahat siya kabit-kabit.
Yes.
Alright, so in terms of, again, to go back in terms of diet, ano ang dapat kainin? Not masyado...
More of a plant-based diet.
Fruit-based diet.
Your meat should be not that often, no? Your water intake should be quite adequate.
Some people are suggesting na ang meat intake mo maski na 2 to 3 ounces lang, twice or 3 times a week, tama na.
Okay, that's good enough. Make sure na lean meat siya.
Hindi yung...
Kasi the findings naman nila, kung medyo masyado tayo madalas mag-meat intake at lalo na fatty, colon cancer naman yung aabutin natin. Pero pa yung cholesterol. It takes about a week bago ma-eliminate mo most of the fats that you take. So give it time to get rid of. Now, if you do have to eat meat,
it's important for us to have fats in our diet, no?
So you have to have your omega oil, At least to neutralize kung
Essential
sobra
fatty
na.
acids.
You have to have your grapeseed by fibers to eliminate sa walis. Kasi yung fats po, yung LDL na tawag, our body can produce that. Even if
Our
you're a
body
plant-
does produce it, no?
So, we advise more of the omega type fat so that it will be a more protective effect.
Cold water fish.
Fish,
We have
yeah.
to pause for a few reminders. Wag po kayong mawala, babalik tayo.